line of company.
Tonight on CTV3 News, BSCFA membership to decide on BSI-ASR's two-year interim agreement proposal tomorrow during emergency meeting. Prime Minister John Briceño says one-year interim agreement is better than two. 17-year-old Carmelita resident bedridden after traffic accident. And together, Read and Feed Belize share the joy of the season with children of Carmelita. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, December 21st, 2022.
Everyone, including our elderly, needs to stay connected with their loved ones. With Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program, senior citizens can sign up for 10 megabytes of unlimited internet at a low monthly cost of $25. Citizens over 65 can sign up with a valid ID and receive free installation plus 1 month free on selected broadband plans. Visit a Smart showroom near you for more information on how you can enjoy Smart's Golden Citizen broadband program. Smart, bringing people together.
Good evening with your news, also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. As we told you last night, the Belize Sugar Industries Limited, American Sugar Refining, BSI-ASR, has suggested to the Belize Sugarcane Farmers Association, BSCFA, that a two-year interim agreement on the same terms as that in place last season be signed, so that the crop season is no longer delayed. In an official statement issued yesterday, BSI-ASR says this will provide time for further consideration of alternative approaches and to ensure BSCFA farmers are able to deliver their cane and avoid any further delays to the crop and damage to the economy of Belize. While this might sound like a reasonable proposal, the reality is it took the leadership of the BSCFA by surprise. For context, here is what the chairman of the Committee of Management, Alfredo Ortega, told us yesterday.
En realidad,
no esperábamos de que salga un release de parte de ellos. Vemos otra vez el juego sucio que están haciendo, porque pues eso que sacaron en el documento no fue nada que tratamos durante la mediación que teníamos. Así es de que en realidad no esperábamos de que esto iba a suceder. Nosotros estamos en espera de nuestra junta para presentarle a nuestros cañeros en lo que hasta donde llegamos en la mediación. Así es de que esta información que sacó BSI realmente no estamos de acuerdo con ello, porque pues no fue algo que tuvimos durante la mediación.
Okay. During the negotiations, I think there have been 4 so far, something about like that. But during the negotiation meetings, did BSI ASR ever table that forward to your association?
No, ese punto a donde que sacó ahorita de que ellos están proponiendo 2 años, eso no se tiró en la mesa. Siempre estuvimos luchando de parte de nosotros en ver de que podamos en lograrnos. Nosotros estábamos moviéndonos y como siempre habíamos propuesto 3 años, así es de que ellos estuvieron siempre apegados a sus 7, 5 años cuando es lo menos que estaban presentando. Así es de que esta presentación o este release que hicieron hoy realmente con los 2 años que pusieron allá realmente pues no es que nos agarró off guard, pero realmente vemos una vez más el juego sucio que están jugando dentro de la industria.
BSI's proposal will be discussed with the membership of the BSCFA tomorrow during an emergency meeting. Whatever resolution is passed, BSI will be informed in due time. But while we wait and see if the membership of the largest association will have a counter proposal for the manufacturer, the government of the day is already recommending an interim agreement of 1 year instead of 2. Today, Prime Minister John Briceño revealed that while he is yet to review the mediation report, his administration believes it is in the best interest of both parties to have a 1 year interim agreement.
Today, I have not seen the mediation report. I'm waiting for that. They're supposed to give me a copy. I hope I could get it before Friday, that is in 2 days' time. The mediation efforts came to an end, I think, Friday or probably mid-Saturday. I'm not sure what I know on Friday. Both sides, I think it's an issue where both sides have to find a way how they can compromise to come up with something that is going to be working in the interest of everyone. As I mentioned, BSI cannot exist without the farmers, and the farmers cannot exist without BSI. And us as a government, we have to be able to walk that thin line in trying to find that right balance. We have been doing everything to encourage the process so that they can find common ground. We're not there yet. I'm still hopeful that we can get there. The plan now is that we are hoping, we're asking for, I know BSI issued a press release saying that they're prepared to sign on for 2 years, but we believe we don't need 2 years. We are going to ask for 1 year for both of them, and then to work in earnest now seriously, and then that probably BSI then can present the actual cost of manufacturing the what we call the direct consumption sugars, for instance, the actual cost to get to the net ship value as part of the negotiation, so that again the Belize Cane Farmers Association, Sugar Cane Farmers Association could also see and then convince themselves that maybe BSI is right, maybe not. So that I think we need to look as the next step. So we're going to be asking for a year.
Do you consider that the suggestion from BSI is a tactic? Because if you keep extending, and they've asked for 2 years, which you consider, I think, probably unreasonable, and then it means that the cane farmers do not get anything, that they're asking for status quo remains for.
Well, not necessarily. I think, first of all, I don't think they need 2 years. And I think BSI wants to have some sort of certainty, at least in the next 2 years, while they work out a new pricing formula. I don't think it's necessarily a tactic to hold back things. It's just that I think they want to make sure that they have enough time. I believe that if we sit down seriously and then put everything on the table, the cards. What are your expenses? How is it that we come? Because all of this came because the farmers believe that the net trade value, the amount that is being used to get to the net trade value is too high. So if BSI can come to the table and say, see, these are my expenses, it is something that can be worked from there backward, coming to the formula. We believe that 1 year is going to be is more than adequate, and especially if then we can then seriously have to probably participate in the discussion between the two parts. We, as I said, we have to be the honest broker. These are two private entities. Is that something that we can say rule in favor of the farmers? Because then BSI is going to take us to court. If we rule in favor of BSI, the farmers will take us to court.
According to PM Bresenio, both the BSCFA and the BSI ASR will be asked to address Cabinet in order to get a better clarity of the situation.
Minister Mai has been for some time wanting us to meet with them, so we'll probably invite them early. And then after that, I guess we then have to invite BSI also to hear both sides. But at the end of the day, the bleached sugar industry is one of the most important industries in the country, and as a government, we need to see it be able to move forward. It is more than just looking at the price formula, but also as how, as a government, we could find ways to assist our farmers to be able to increase productivity. I think right now the average is probably around 18 tons per acre. So we're looking at the possibility of working with the IFIs to make funding available at very low interest rates and long-term payment, so that the farmers can use this money to invest to increase productivity. But that also has to be in line with what BSI is going to do. As it is right now, we have about probably around 1.2 million tons of cane, and if the factory does not work as efficiently as it's supposed to be, it will take a bit longer to do. So if we are going to increase yields, then BSI will also have to invest to improve their milling capacity.
And while the Sugar Industry Control Board, SICB, has set December 27 as a tentative date for the commencement of the 2022-2023, with the proviso that BSI and BSCFA sign a commercial agreement, at least two of the other three associations are ready to start delivery to the factory. With that in mind, the PM was asked if the SICB was not infringing on the rights of those other farmers.
We wanted to open the crop on the 19th. What happened is that when the Sugar Board, the acronym everybody remembers, when the Sugar Board met on Saturday, the two entities, BSI and the Cane Farmers Association, they were still meeting. And there was a hope that something could have worked out. And to be able to give an opportunity for that process to work, they said, okay, let's set the 27th of December to be able to open up. So I'm going to impress on the Sugar Board to be able to work with everyone and to be able to get the crop going as soon as possible. And the best time possible at this time is going to be the 27th of December.
Isn't the chairman sort of infringing on the rights of those other three associations? Their livelihoods took an injury last year due to this problem. And I understand that some of them are considering taking legal action to force the Sugar Board to issue that gazette, sir?
Well, I think that's a matter for them to decide what action they would want to take. I can tell you from our end, we're doing everything possible to get the crop going as quickly as we possibly can.
Tomorrow, two other proposals from BSI ASR will be discussed. For one, BSI proposes to continue with the existing agreement with the addition of a provision for an audit right. This audit right would allow the BSCFA to appoint a recognized audit firm in Belize to review our auditors' working papers related to the net strip value, NSV, which would include testing and the supporting records documentation obtained during the audit. This would provide BSCFA with the certainty and transparency it claims are currently missing. In addition, BSI proposes to reduce the length of the agreement from 7 to 5 years under this proposal. In Proposal 2, BSI proposes an alternative 60-40 gross value cane payment formula as outlined in Annex 1. This proposal continues to share all sugar and molasses 60-40 with the exception of export direct consumption sugar, which will be valued on the basis of number 11 futures, raw sugar, given the desire to move away from the NSV concept. All deductions under NSV will be eliminated except for the Sugar Industry Development Fund, SIDF, which is a statutory deduction. Under Proposal 2, BSI is prepared to similarly offer a 5-year agreement. On November 27, just after sunset, an accident occurred at the immediate entrance of Carmelita Village, just passing the toll bridge here in Orange Walk. It involved a vehicle that had apparently knocked down a 17-year-old Giovanni Can from Carmelita, who was flung off his bicycle. Along with Can was a 14-year-old who did not suffer major injuries. The vehicle that knocked down Can was trying to escape from the scene when it overturned, causing injuries to its driver and passengers who were rushed to the NRH. Can was also rushed to the Northern Regional Hospital and had to then be transported to the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital for urgent medical care. Can is now at home after coming out of a coma, but his prognosis is still grim. As can be seen, Can is unable to move and is dependent on his family to do so.
Su estado, como decía, sigue algo crítico, sigue algo un poco crítico, porque el doctor nos dijo que a pesar de todo, que le hicieron su casquán, que ya no tiene así, siempre tienen que cuidar su operation, y porque él no habla bien, y él dijo que necesita cuidado, por eso lo mandó a casa, porque usually, como decirle, nosotros estábamos cuidándolo allá en el hospital, y nos dábamos cuenta que él necesitaba más cuidado, como de nosotros, así que de los nurses, porque, como decirle, hay muchos patients allá y a ratos no le ponían atención, y pues el doctor le hizo su casquán y vio que él ya está más o menos de su cabeza, ya no tiene blood en su brain, le dio de alta para que mi papá y lo puedan cuidar acá en la casa. Pero siempre tiene appointment con doctor, pero siempre va a estar en chequeo del doctor en Belice. De que ha hablado así de lo que le ha pasado, no. Él no ha recuperado bien, que digamos, aún nos ve y todo y nos queda viendo, pero no nos dice nuestro nombre tampoco. No ha reconocido lo que le ha pasado, no nos ha reconocido bien, no ha agarrado conciencia todavía. Sí, a ratos agarra su flashback, pero a ratos se va, pero majority puro dormir así.
In our last interview with Chablé, she had expressed her discontent in the manner the Orange Walk Police Department had been handling the situation. Today, Chablé is of another notion, saying she is, until now, happy with the way things are turning out from the police department and from the driver of the vehicle who slammed into the rear end of her little brother's bicycle.
Eso, yo como le puedo decir, eso todavía está en mano, todavía está en proceso, todavía sigue en proceso eso. Mi papá y mi otro hermanito, ellos están averiguando de eso. Ellos siguen en ese proceso, pero de que nos están ayudando, pues gracias a Dios que están ayudando con el police, están ayudando con ese del report que dimos, y el señor el que atropelló a mi hermanito, él también ya dio su parte de ayudarnos. Él ya se hizo, ¿cómo decirle? Él ya se hizo responsable, pues, ya se está haciendo responsable y se hizo guilty de lo que él pasó, de lo que él hizo.
Chablé says that she simply wants her little brother to return to who he was and that justice is served at the earliest possible. By law, Christmas Day is one of 2 days in the entire year when most shops and establishments in Belize close, mostly because they sell liquor and are not allowed on that day and Good Friday. The applicable law, the Intoxicated Liquor Licensing Act, provides in Section 27 inter alia that license holders must observe the complete closure of businesses on a Christmas Day for a publican general, essentially supermarkets, or cider and malt liquor, essentially beer and wine shops license. Commissioner of Police Chester Williams shared the official memo signed by Deputy Bart Jones and shared with formation commanders and sub-commanders, which sets timings for public and special license at the regular time above on Christmas Eve and Boxing Day, and close between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. on Christmas Day. The law states that at any point where a notice says establishments are to be closed, no liquor can be exposed for sale, sold, consumed, or delivered on such premises, and no persons other than the license holder or the employees shall be on the licensed premises. Restaurants are barred from selling liquor to customers without their buying and consuming a full meal at the establishment. Extensions to licenses remain at the discretion of the local liquor licensing board, with the police allowed objections. That said, holders of publicans' general licenses must be closed by 10 p.m. on Saturday and through Christmas Day to Boxing Day on Monday, when they can open until 10 p.m. Malt liquor and cider license holders close at 11 p.m. from Christmas Eve through to Boxing Day. Shop and beer license holders close between 4 and 7 p.m. and after 9 p.m. on Christmas Eve and throughout Christmas and Boxing Day. Hotel and restaurant nightclub license holders close at midnight and reopen at 7 a.m. Hotels and 6 a.m. restaurants throughout the weekend. Nightclub license holders close at midnight to 10 a.m. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and 2 a.m. On Boxing Day and special license holders must remain closed between midnight and 10 a.m. on all 3 days. Coming up next, Belize Defense Force gets early Christmas present. Stay tuned.
Win big with Shell! Shell is giving away over $20,000 in prizes this Christmas. One lucky customer will win $6,500 in fuel, plus over 40 customers will win either $150 in fuel vouchers or $500 in cash. To enter, spend $40 Belize or more in fuel. Complete the entry form and drop it in the boxes provided. Fuel up with Shell this Christmas for your chance to win. Promotion runs from November 21 to December 31, 2022. Terms and conditions apply. Visit solpetroleum.com/winbig with Shell for more details. Shell trademarks are used by Sol Brands Incorporated under license from Shell Brands International AG.
The past 2 Christmas seasons were marked by uncertainty and fear from the unfamiliar and unprecedented challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, while COVID still walks among us, Belizeans are more relaxed and are currently involved in the hustle and bustle of the holidays. There are also those who are sharing the joy of the season with children. One such organization is Together Read and Feed Belize, who brought a smile to children of Carmelita Village. Elmer Cornejo has that story.
Last year, the Christmas season was marked by uncertainty and fear from the unfamiliar and unprecedented challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic. This year, though, it's different as there are no restrictions, including that of movement, and we can now congregate with friends and families. Today, Together Read and Feed Belize, a non-profit organization, took advantage of the no-rule scenario to bring treats of the season to children of Carmelita Village. Founder of the organization, Ashini Reynolds, told us all about this year's mission.
In Feed Belize, we deliver health, wellness, and quality education to children that are in need.
How is it that you formed Read and Feed Belize? How the idea came about? Who gave you that idea? What was it that struck out in your life that made you say, I need to make something in Carmelita?
Okay, well, my grandma, Emma Reynolds, she was very well known. Like, she would be the woman that's always cooking. People would come for advice. She'd be making up something nice, and people would just go to her. And so I admire and I love her, and I wanted to keep that tradition going. So that's how the feeding and reading came along. She was a woman who loved to read, so that's books, and I really feel like education could change the trajectory of our life. So giving resources like books for the kids is really important. And we also do like other education materials like crayons, paper, pens, pencils, all those basic necessities that we need to get to the next level. And then the food part, we all like food, and you need like basic nutrition to kind of thrive and get to that next level.
The entire day was planned out to secure success, as having children learn the importance of mental health was priority.
I love the kids. Like, they're just, yeah, my family's here, but I love it here. So, and I think the world of the kids, and they're inspiring to me. So that's just how it happened. Yeah, I had to come back, and it's a whole thing. Like, Dr. Nate Hayward has sponsored Vallejo Drive Seventh-day Adventist Church, Livy Counseling Center, the Palmers. Like, I ask a lot of people in Los Angeles to get involved, and it's another testament of how we're all better together. COVID has had a huge impact on us mentally, and on a lot of us physically too. So just giving the kids resources on how to cope with things like sadness, not speaking to their peers, having this big chunk of time where they didn't go to school and interact with each other.
One other aspect of the program is to ensure children are able to have school materials for them to perform better at school.
As a retired teacher, I still have the kids at heart, and I'm still able to do something in the community, and this is something that I have wanted to do for a long, long time. And so I work along with my niece, and we try to cater to the needs of the most needy children in the community. We work along with the school principal, Mr. Keith Agustin. He's the one who finds the kids for us, and then he just gives us the name, and then we reach out to them. So today is not the only activity. Throughout the year, we have activities. Today, we are going to, in this bag, we usually have supplies. We know that it's Christmas. However, like we said, because of COVID and some parents don't have work, and they might buy a little toy for them, but they will need this when school open back in January. And since that's a heavy part of our organization, which is Read and Feed, we want to keep them educated. So in here we have school supplies in this bag, and if you see, it's all church-based too. We talk a lot about God. And so they will, and also a little first aid kit. So after the activity today, they will learn a little bit more about first aid, and they will get their own little one that they can put in their backpack. And then after that, we are going to give them, if you look over there, we're going to give them a grocery bag too. By giving them a plate of food out here, only one of them will eat. But by giving them a bag, at least they can have a meal for their entire family, at least for the Christmas day. So that's basically what we are doing, just reaching out to those who are less fortunate.
Participants were glad to have been involved in the program this year. They told us about their experience.
I drew a person helping another person because that's how they express their kindness to others.
Now tell me, are you enjoying yourself here today, and did you come with friends?
Yeah, and I came with some of my friends from Potlight.
You want to tell us what you want to tell everybody here participating together with you?
Just to have fun and be yourself and be kind to each other and enjoy yourself.
They invited us to come to Carmelita to be with the kids and help the kids out with a couple of stuff, so that's why I came today to help.
How has your experience been?
It has been good.
What do you like about today?
Well, I get to help some kids with things that they don't normally get to do.
Joining the efforts was Pathlight, an organization involved in the development of young persons in Belize.
Pathlight is collaborating with Read and Feed Belize through our initiative in terms of service leadership. So one of our components is service, and the young people that we serve, they're high school students. So currently we're collaborating with we have students who are attending 4 particular high schools in Orange Walk Town, right? New Hope, Bishop Martin High School, Muffles College, and Orange Walk Technical. And so one of the things when it comes to youth development is giving back, right? And so with Read and Feed Believe, our young people, they will be here doing different presentations to assist the students, just to liven up and get to meet the students in this particular community, Carmelita. They will also take up some lead in terms of the various activities that we're going to do today, the various components, no, engaging with the young people.
It is the first December activity for Together Read and Feed Belize after COVID-19 restrictions were lifted. As a result, 40 families received food hampers and 75 children benefited from today's planned program. Elmer Cornejo, CTV3 News.
Christmas is only 4 days away, and for the soldiers of the Belize Defense Force, that ham and turkey dinner came early today. They threw their annual Christmas luncheon for the well-deserved soldiers, and the Prime Minister was present. For Brigadier General Azariel Loria, he is heartwarmed that the Prime Minister was present, since it is an indication that the leader of the nation recognizes the importance of the nation's national security.
The Honorable Prime Minister John Briceño was here again today because he has departed. Last year he was here, and this year again. So that speaks volumes of the leadership in government supporting the troops, and we would want that to continue for as long as we could.
But it was not only the Prime Minister's presence that put a smile on the face of each soldier. 10 years ago, the BDF was promised a better working environment, but that never came to fruition. Today, Honorable John Briceño committed to investment $30 million to improve the working conditions of the soldiers. Testament to that committed was the handing over of brand new trucks to the troops.
I can tell you a story that the Cabellon started somewhere around 2013 or 2014. I was a commanding officer at the time at Belisario, Camp Belisario, and we were requested to submit estimates to refurbish our barrack rooms or living quarters or accommodations, which we did. From that time, we were told that it was going to be a Cabay loan through the government of Belize. That we waited and waited and waited, and that did not materialize until this year. Finally, and this year from Cabay we have gotten our 86 computers, some printers, plotters, that is, the plotters print maps so that we can do our operations in the length and breadth of Belize. We have our soldiers to find their position where they are. And on top of that, today we finally got our 10 Hino trucks, our troop lifting carrying vehicles. Next year in the pipeline, as the Prime Minister mentioned, we're going to have 2 barrack rooms, 1 kitchen refurbished. So we will continue with the good works, and that's applause. That is what the soldiers deserve. The soldiers, the Belize Defense Force soldiers deserve no less, in my view, and this government has prioritized on it.
3 trucks were received today, and even the PM Briceño got an opportunity to put one to the test. This morning, the Belize Fund for a Sustainable Future awarded grants amounting to $559,563 Belize dollars to 5 non-government agencies for the management of 8 protected areas across Belize. At a signing ceremony held at the office of the Belize Fund for a Sustainable Future in Bamopan, the chair of the BFSF Board of Directors, CEO Kennedy Carrillo, of the Ministry of Blue Economy and Civil Aviation, executed these first ever awards under the BFSF. The recipients of the awards are Belize Audubon Society for the Blue Hole Natural Monument and Half Moon Key Natural Monument, Sardineja Alliance for Conservation and Development for the Corozal Bay Wildlife Sanctuary, Southern Environmental Association for the Gladden Spit Marine Reserve, and the Silk Keys Marine Reserve. Turneffe Atoll Sustainability Association for the Turneffe Atoll Marine Reserve, Toledo Institute for Development and Environment for the Port Honduras Marine Reserve, and Cayman Crown. The funds will be used towards the effective management of these marine protected areas, which comprise critical habitats for marine species and include iconic natural heritage sites within the Belize Barrier Reef Reserve System, a UNESCO World Heritage Site. The grant awards program will also be granting approximately 3.6 million Belize dollars per year to non-government, community-based, and private sector entities through annual funding cycles. The BFSF 4 strategic priorities of the grant awards program are 1. Protection for biodiversity, 2. Sustainable fisheries, 3. Climate resilience, 4. Blue business innovation. The BFSF was legally established in March 2022 as an independent non-profit fund. It is the mechanism that will manage the funds generated by Belize's Blue Bond Debt Conversion Agreement, which was finalized in November 2021 through the efforts of the government of Belize and the Nature Conservancy. This groundbreaking agreement has allowed Belize to convert its national debt into a conservation fund that will generate an estimated 360 million Belize dollars for marine conservation and the sustainable development of Belize's marine resources over the next 20 years. In addition to the grant awards program, the BFSF will also provide funding to government agencies through the Government Strategic Allocation Program to support government agencies in fulfilling Belize's conservation commitments under the Blue Loan Agreement and the Conservation Funding Agreement, which affected the Blue Bond Debt Conversion transaction. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, December 21st here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/ctv3belizenews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. Remember to wash your hands and remain safe. From all of us here at CTV3 News, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.